Doubles and Coffee, Mr. Joel Edwards, former chairman of the PNM CEPEP company during the election period, March, April, and after the election, May, June, before your resignation. You have some serious questions to answer. And you need to take a deep breath, because what you may feel is just politics and following your political party and your line minister, FARIS RAWI, has just taken a very, very serious turn. And if you personally have not contacted your personal lawyer, not a PNM lawyer, not a lawyer who is a friend with RAWI, not a lawyer recommended by RAWI, a lawyer who would seek your best interest, Mr. Joel Edwards, I, Anil O.E. Roberts, son of 2 attorneys, brother of 3 attorneys, and father of 1 attorney, suggest to you that you find a strong, brilliant, independent-minded, honest, ethical attorney very quickly. Very, very quickly. And I want to remind you, before I ask you some serious questions, Mr. Joel Edwards, former PNM reappointed chairman of CEPEP. Reappointed, yes. The cabinet went quickly to reappoint the board because the term of the board had expired for a little period in there, you know. And the cabinet, FARIS went to the cabinet quick to reappoint it. Why? To make a decision to increase all the contractors and extend them and commit the country and the taxpayers and the government to $1.4 billion without cabinet approval, without the requisite approval. Hold on, Mr. Joel Edwards, I now take you to some of your words, because I've gone through these documents in detail. And this is from a group chat, evidence given in that you typed. And it's very interesting. I agree with your words. And I could see, Mr. Joel Edwards, that somewhere in there, there's something good inside of you. They didn't extricate your conscience yet. On the 2nd of June, 2025, at 3:02 p.m., Joel Edwards says, "Good day, everyone." This is on the CEPEP chat with the corporate secretary, the CEO, and all the board members of the PNM CEPEP on this group chat. And so therefore, all you board members, all you will be called as witness too. So all you better see about what all you're going to do. And the best thing is to talk the truth, but it's up to you all. Mr. Joel Edwards, "Good day, everyone. I have no formal authority at CEPEP anymore. So this is just moral suasion. I urge the directors who have not resigned to date to please submit your resignations. Protocol demands that state boards resign upon a change of government. Please do the honorable thing. Thanks and best regards." Mr. Joel Edwards, that was brilliant. That was honest. That was ethical. That showed propriety. That shows understanding. That shows that you're a man of class. So based on this, on your words, on who you are, I now ask you, Mr. Joel Edwards, to be a man of class, to tell the truth. If you misspoke before, it's all right. Time for the truth. Let's go through. I have 10 things to ask you quickly, Mr. Joel Edwards, because this going to court, police coming, anti-corruption bureau coming, fraud squad coming, jail sentences in the wind hanging over people's head. This is the statement, the affidavit, filed by Mr. Keith Eddy. Now, Mr. Joel Edwards, Mr. Eddy has a lot of evidence here and stated things, so let's check. Mr. Eddy states, "I say that I was appointed in July 2016, and this is the first time I have ever had to deal, that means in 9 years, with a situation where the company was extending all its contracts with contractors en masse in such a wholesale manner, regardless of whether the contract had expired or had substantial periods of time left to run until it expired. I was therefore of the clear opinion that prior cabinet approval was necessary for such a massive transaction, more so because the contracts are not simply going to be extended for 1 year, as is customary, but rather up to a maximum of 3 years. Now, this is very interesting because FARIS's new position is that Colmy but find a cabinet note from 2017 which allowed CEPEP to renew contracts and so on. Yes, when they expired, not en masse, not all, not when some still had 18 months left. Mr. Edwards said in May 2024 on a WhatsApp chat, right? The WhatsApp exchange between myself and Mr. Edwards, Joel Edwards, listen to this, Andy. WhatsApp is here printed and handed in as evidence. The 22nd of May 2024. This is way back. So this is giving you the context of why Mr. Eddie couldn't be a madman to go and extend contracts and commit the government to $1.4 billion of expenditure without cabinet approval, without Ministry of Finance approval, without supplemental funding. The man would have to be a madman because look, in 2024, Mr. Keith Eddy says, the Prime Minister has instructed a report on the differences between Ministry of Finance and over expenditure at CEPEP within the week. The allegations include, this is RAWI checking in on CEPEP, this is IMBUT checking in on CEPEP back in 2024, that CEPEP has increased its expenditure without consent. But now IMBUT is saying that CEPEP could go and commit the government to $1.4 billion without consent, without really IMBUT. So how it changed from 2024, it had election, that the expenditure is effectively unjustified and uncontrolled. And then Mr. Edwards says, on the 22nd of the 5th, 22nd of May 2024, at 3:21 p.m., this is from Minister RAWI. Third point I'm making. So that shows the cabinet approval was a must. Approval from Minister of Finance DHANPAUL was a must. That you could not commit. You hear, Joel Edwards? So don't go and take no basket. Don't be no fall guy for nobody and don't go and lie. I therefore indicated, says Mr. Eddy in his affidavit, as much to Mr. Edwards and informed him that I would not be willing to extend all contracts of further 3 years without prior cabinet approval. I also informed Mr. Edwards that Minister Al-Rawi's right-hand man, who was a change manager at the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, Mr. SIDDIQUE HOSEIN, had attempted to engage me before on this very issue, and I did not entertain any discussion with him. Follow the money, SIDDIQUE HOSEIN. On March 21st, 2025, Mr. Hossein sent me a WhatsApp message which read as follows. SIDDIQUE HOSEIN, good afternoon, CEO. Why are you talking to a CEO? Why are you messaging a CEO? On what basis, Mr. SIDDIQUE HOSEIN, where you get all this power? Further to our conversation today, we would like to renew all contractors for a 3-year period. SIDDIQUE HOSEIN, use the cabinet, use the Prime Minister, use the Minister of Finance. We would like to renew contracts for 3 years. I understand that we did not facilitate. Additionally, it is my understanding, says SIDDIQUE HOSEIN, family to Kazim Hossein. I may be wrong, please guide, that CEPEP has 328 contractors, but a cabinet note in 2014 facilitates 340 contractors. I understand that we did not facilitate the full complement of contractors because of lack of funding. But you're rushing on the eve of election to increase the number of contractors and to increase and extend for 3 years and commit for $1.4 billion. But you, SIDDIQUE HOSEIN, know that you didn't take all the contractors because of a lack of funding. But now, election in the air, forget funding, forget approval, and just do all you want. Who are you, SIDDIQUE HOSEIN? SIDDIQUE HOSEIN said to the CEO of CEPEP that given that we find contractors that are already OPR registered and registered for specific line item. What? Use the procurement man, use the selector, use it. What? You should have been a DJ boy, SIDDIQUE. We will babysit to ensure that the paperwork you require runs smoothly. What is babysitting in procurement and making sure that paperwork goes smoothly, SIDDIQUE? I informed Chairman that I had not replied and reiterated my position that under no circumstances would I be willing to proceed to renew all contracts in the absence of cabinet approval, that I would not be intimidated and pressured or bullied into doing so. Keith Eddy continued, in the lead up to the general election, I came under intense pressure from the line minister RAWI, Mr. Joel Edwards. Did you at any time become under pressure, intense pressure from line minister FARIS RAWI of the PNM? Yes or no? Others to add contractors and to assist certain companies. When I demanded documentary evidence and proof that approval had been granted, the Ministry of Finance or cabinet note was not forthcoming. I was therefore alerted to the highly suspicious nature of these requests because I did not want to be anybody's fall guy. Mr. Joel Edwards, are you going to be the fall guy or are you going to talk the truth? In April 2025, the month of the general election, then Minister RAWI called me on several occasions to demand that I add new contractors in the CEPEP program. I was extremely concerned about his aggressive and demanding nature. That is Mr. Eddy. Then going on 3rd April 2025, the chairman, you, Mr. Joel Edwards, and I had a WhatsApp conversation about this sensitive issue. And he warned me, Joel Edwards, you warned Keith Eddy about FARIS RAWI, and now you concocting thing to help out FARIS? Really, Joel Edwards? I think you need to stop, think, get a lawyer, take advice, and come again. Eh? On this, here are the conversations. Joel Edwards, Minister, tell me you're giving him trouble talking to the CEO, you know. Keith Eddy says he's up to his old tricks. He said that he will reinstate the board when I spoke to him yesterday. Joel Edwards, they won't do that with the election so close, I don't think. Keith Eddy, bright fella, him. That is probably the reason they will do so. So they reinstate the board to commit fraud. Joel Edwards, he said he was going to speak to the Minister of Finance and get back to me. He hasn't called back yet. VISHNU DHANPAUL, did FARIS RAWI call you, speak to you, and seek your approval to extend contracts and increase number of contractors and extend the commitment of the government and Ministry of Finance of $1.4 billion? Did he call you? Did you give him the okay to move ahead, to give instructions to the chairman? VISHNU DHANPAUL, police come in. Keith Eddy, I'm not surprised. He wants to put the new contractors in without approval. He said that he spoke to the finance minister and it was approved, but no evidence provided. Joel Edwards, about FARIS RAWI, he may not be telling the truth. I know, says Keith Eddy, that he's not telling the truth. FARIS, everybody know you as lie boy. Another point, I say the discussions I had with Mr. Edwards regarding the extension of CEPEP contracts revolved around the issue of the need for cabinet approval and authorization. I expressed the view that cabinet approval was necessary, but he gave it. Mr. Edwards went on and said that someone told him, FARIS RAWI told him, the line minister told him that cabinet approval had been given. Keith Eddy then went to go pulsing the corporate secretary and said, do up a board note. We have the board note in evidence. The board note says, cabinet approval having been granted, we ask the board to approve by round robin the extension of contracts, committing the government and the country to $1.4 billion. So corporate secretary go pulsing, you have to prepare your witness statement. Police come in, make sure all you talk the truth and provide evidence. Corporate secretary instructed the board that the note be prepared in accordance with these instructions, that the note was prepared and circulated to the board on 23rd April 2025. And the last man by round robin approved this fraudulent expenditure without cabinet approval. Discussion, police coming, witness statement. Mr. Joel Edwards, over to you. Are you a man of integrity?